Bet one, bet 'em all. This is Spro on Call, and I'm your host, C. Rich. We're going to do a UFC Fight Night 69 Berlin betting chat and predictions. To kick it off, we got the champion, Jana Jacek, taking on Jessica Penne. Well, just to be clear, I have been on Jana's bandwagon since she's entered the UFC. Just her being a fighter alone and me straight betting, I've won at least $150 on just straight bets from her in her current UFC life. Penne, most of all, one of the things people can argue is, yes, she is the more complete fighter. I mean, it is what it is, but really, I don't think this is going to end up really taking any place on the ground. I mean, yes, we're going to see some scrambles, I'm sure, maybe. But overall, even if it has to go 5 rounds, it's a long time to get punched in the face. And honestly, I do not see the fight going into a decision. Really, if Jana doesn't win in the first 3 rounds, the 4th and the 5th, Jessica should just be beaten and battered by that point in time, barely able to stand. So honestly, my play of the week with the most juice on is probably going to be Jacek in the distance. Just waiting to see what that line comes out at. I'm hoping to get it somewhere around maybe a minus 250. So anything lower than that, even lower than a minus 200, it would be a gift from Christmas. So next we got Dennis Siver and Sui Kawajiri. Really, what I think is going to end up playing out the most is if it doesn't. I mean, yes, it can be a clinch battle, but when and if it does, I think Siver has the just the overall more power. I'm just seeing it as the powers going to overtake this fight, and Dennis Siver should win this fight. At minus 185, I'm kind of just staying away from this one. I don't feel confident enough to put any straight money on him on that one. So next we got Peter Sabata and Stephen Kennedy. Now, Sabata is sitting at a minus 280. A lot of people are going for him on forum boards, prediction, write-ups and such. I honestly don't know much about him, but I can just at least see that Kennedy has more experience. I'm not sure about the level of competition, though. I'm going to go with Sabata for the bandwagon pick there. Next, I've actually been waiting to see this guy for a while. Nick Hine taking on Lukraz Sawajiski. Really, I think just the ground control and the power are going to end up being a little too much for him, unless he gets caught by some striking exchanges by the debut guy. But I do think that he'll be putting that first loss on his record. So Nick Hine for the win there, more than likely by decision. Then we got Makwan Americiani. I bet on him his first one, where he got it was like a flying knee into a TKO. But he's taking on Miso Fullen. It's a Mexican fighter, 10-4. Really, I'm thinking they're just giving Makwan an easy win here. Ready to see what the in the distance play is, and more than likely I will be playing that. But minus 235 isn't bad either. But I'd rather get my value for my money on in the distance play, because I do believe he will end up finishing him. Next, we're going on to Mirbek Tasumov and Alan Patrick. I've been waiting for Patrick to fight again ever since his last one. I like him as a fighter, I think he's pretty decent. Unfortunately, the UFC didn't give him an easy draw, an easy fight this one. Mirbeck's sitting at a minus 165, and honestly, I do see that reasonable. This fight just screams no, don't bet all over it to me, honestly, because I am pulling for Alan Patrick, but it's hard to bet against the Russians or pick against them because they usually do prevail. So I'm staying away from this one betting wise, but I am going to go with Mirabek Testumov for the win. Next, we got Nicholas Backstrom and Noad Lahat. My one question in this fight is, where's Lahat's head? He's been fighting over in Israel. As soon as he won his last fight, he said he was going over there to fight in the war in Israel. So I don't know. I don't know where exactly his head is, but Backstrom looks ready. He does have the grappling advantage, I believe. So I am picking Nicholas Backstrom for the win, but I'm scared to do a straight bet because honestly, my first thoughts about the fight were Lahat taking it. Plus 175 too doesn't look too bad of a betting line either for some hedge parlays. Then we got Scott Askham and Anito Dos Santos. The biggest factor in this fight is Askham. When I first saw it, when the fight was announced, I automatically just Askham went into my head for the win. And further looking into it, he's going to hold a pretty hefty size reach advantage, and I think he's just is the more skilled fighter, and overall, I just think the size is great, and I just think he's further along in his skill set. So ask him for the win there. Then we got Piotr Hallman and Mazumed Mastidov. I don't butcher the names, but this one seems like a back and forth. Everyone's going back. Really, when I look at the stats and statistics on this one, I have to go with Hallman. I do. I don't really know too much about either of these fighters. I've seen a fight before, but just my initial gut feeling was Hallman for the win there. And at a minus 120, might not be too bad of a line. I got to get a little more confident to put my money where my mouth is on this one, though. So we'll see by fight time and the weigh-ins. Really, that's what I'm waiting for this one is the weigh-ins, which I think they're on no, not yet, soon. But and then we got Yuta Sasaki versus Taylor Laprise. Really, this one's pretty easy. I hate putting my money on these Asian fighters. It's a good way to go bankrupt. But sitting at a minus 275. I don't like the straight bet on this one. More than likely, I'll be doing an in-the-distance play on him. I do see him getting a pretty easy submission if he doesn't pull it out in the second round for sure. So, hey, thanks again for watching, guys. Please don't forget to like that little thumbs up button down there at the bottom there. Don't forget to check out SprawlAndCall.com and subscribe to my channel. Until next time, don't blow your bankrolls and always have fun.